JT here with Business Broker Life, and today's word of the day, raise, R-A-I-S-E. A couple things you could think about as you're running your business. Hey, maybe you want to raise capital. You're looking to expand your services. You need some more equipment to be able to do that. You might be looking to raise that capital by bringing on a partner. You guys have all seen Shark Tank. You get someone who gives you some equity, or they get some equity in the business. They give you some money up front. They may also be bringing you some expertise that you don't already have. You may be looking for raising capital to expand your location, bigger facility, better location, et cetera, et cetera. And we help folks that are looking to do that all the time with unsecured lines of credit, SBA lines of credit. So just keep that in mind if you need that help. Hey, another thing you might want to raise in business is raise your prices. You know, a 10% increase, if let's say your overall annual sales is $500,000, that's a $50,000 increase to the bottom line. That's 50 grand more that you put in your pocket. And when the business sale time comes, that could translate into $75,000, $100,000 or more in sales price. So you get the money while you're waiting to sell, and then when you sell it, you get a higher valuation. You may be thinking about giving raises to your staff. But if you're thinking about doing that and you're in the midst of selling your business, wait, let the buyer be the hero. And you don't want to come in and give a bunch of raises to your staff already, because that's going to change the financial dynamics of the business that you're possibly selling to that buyer. So that's going to come into play when they start thinking about their budget, and that could affect valuation as well. And last thing you should be thinking about in business is raising up leaders, people who can do the role that you do, so that the buyer's not thinking the business is only tied to you, or that when you walk out the door, the business is going with you. Make sure that you're paying some attention to bringing the right people on your team along to take on more and more of the responsibility day by day, so the business doesn't only rely on you. If we're talking about raising yourself, what can you raise in yourself? Well, you can raise your own bar. You could raise that by setting different goals for yourself. You could raise that by setting expectations for yourself. You could raise yourself up early, another 15 minutes a day. Think about that. If you did that 7 days a week, well, geez, if you did that 6 days a week, you'd be talking about 60 minutes plus another 30 minutes, that's 90 minutes. So you get an hour and a half, almost 2 hours more per week with just 15 minutes a day. Maybe that's 15 minutes that you dedicate to exercise or to reading or to self-education, personal development. That's all good investment that you're making in yourself. You should think about raising your own standards, the standards of who you are as a person, who you are as a parent, who you are as a spouse, who you are as a friend. Raise your standards. Don't just do what the world says you should do. Do the things that you know and you believe are right. And when you're raising, think about how you raise your kids. Are you doing the right things to help them become productive people, productive members of society later on? And if you're a believer like me, the thing that you might consider the most is the best raise of all. And that was when God raised Jesus from the dead. We're celebrating Easter today, so just another thing to think about as we talk about Business Broker Life, the business of business, the business of life. And today happens to be Easter. And that is the best gift that we could have ever gotten, when God raised Jesus from the dead. So, JT here, the word of the day, raise, R-A-I-S-E. And remember, whatever you choose to do today, do it big.